Hi, this is Matthew Robert Payne, and this is Tolu Johnson with me, and we write books, and this is the third book getting produced. This is the name of the book, God's Last Days Message to His Children, and you'll be able to find this video on a playlist on my YouTube channel, God's Last Days Message to His Children, and this is video in the 40s, I think 45 or 46. Um, I I just pray that this will go well, and we get the question off Tulu, and then God will speak. Then Tulu may ask God some questions. God may ask Tulu some questions. Then we'll be over. Uh, so. We'll get the question off to Lou.
Thank you, Matthew. Hello, Father. So the question for today is, why should we desire to be your friend above all else?
Not many people understand what it is to be my friend. Not many people in the Christian faith actually understand what being a true friend of mine actually entails, and there isn't a high percentage of people in the Christian faith who are friends of mine. I personally consider someone being my friend not only a son of God, not only being led by the Spirit each day, which only a small percentage of Christians are, but a step further, not only the bride of Christ, which is an intimate friend of Jesus, but someone who can hear and understand me and process my life and what I'm going through. It's very uncommon for me to share my life with people. I spoke in the Old Testament pretty clearly through prophets to the nation of Israel and to other nations, but it's pretty rare that I speak to individuals and especially share my sad thoughts. So it would be very interesting for you, the reader, to develop the ability to hear from me and want to actually decide to draw close to me and decide to get to know me on a really personal basis. Some people would think that I'm a happy God and everything is okay with me and I'm happy with the world. And when you consider what we've already discussed in previous chapters and previous questions, you realize that the world is suffering and going through hardship, and many people are suffering in the world. And me, as a loving father, would and should have an issue with that. And if you're to draw close to me and make being a friend of mine your priority, your life may get a little darker. You may find it hard or difficult to process my emotions with your daily life. Uh, I don't ignore the problems in the world. I don't put the problems under a carpet. I don't hide them from view. I don't disregard the issues that are going on in the world, and even though they can't all be fixed or alleviated, I still care about the situation. I still care about the issues. I still care about the people suffering and people being hurt. And Matthew watched a show where there was a crime boss dealing in cocaine, and he brought up a number of girls, about 10 girls, and they all looked ashamed. They all were looking at the ground. They were full of shame and fearful, and he was trafficking the women and putting them into clubs to have sex with guys, and so obviously against their will, against their desire, and it just really upset Matthew that uh, it was a show, but it happens all the time, and these are things that concern me and worry me and get me down, and so many people uh, might listen to this and read this and choose not to go and make the decision to be my friend. Um, it you could imagine being a friend of the king of a country, or the friend of Donald Trump, when you sit at a dining table over lunch with him and the media is tearing him apart. You may hear his raw emotion of what he feels about the media, what the accusations and the truth behind the accusations and the real truth. And it may be really sad and disappointing to hear his side of things. And the same is true for me. Uh, I have to deal with some sad and disappointing things, and you choosing to be a friend would choose to listen to those disappointing things and share in my concern and share in my worry about those certain things. Um, the the uh, the dogs of war are continually circling the innocent. The innocent are constantly surrounded by unscrupulous people and unscrupulous devices that have them bound and have them suffer. And I don't enjoy watching people suffer, and so many people. There's millions of Christians, but very few of them actually take the time or make the effort to draw close to me. Jesus said it really clearly when he said, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me." And this is true of so many people who sing worship songs to me. They tend to think they're worshiping my name, but they're not even friends with me. They're not even close to me. They're not interested in hearing my emotion. They're not interested in hearing the stories that are on my mind, the things that concern me. They in vain they worship me, and they lift up my name, but they want to lift up my name without being close. It's like disobeying your wife all day long and disregarding her feelings all day long, at the end of the day, telling her that she's the best wife in the world and there's no greater wife in the world, but you disregarded her feelings all day and disobeyed what she liked all day. But at the end of the day, you're praising her, and it's hard to make sense of this because the whole world, the whole Christian church is used to praising my name and lifting up my name, uh, and to be honest, I wish they
Mm.
wouldn't. To be honest, I uh, I I would rather people glorify me by their good works. In
Mm.
Matthew 5, it says, um, and Matthew will get it and read it. So it's exactly. Matthew 5, verse 14, you are the light of the world. A
Mm.
city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and gives light to all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. That's the glory I like to receive.
Mm.
That's the glory I like to receive from men. Men who aren't so much believers in the kingdom that see your good works and glorify me, that give me glory. Uh, where did uh, where did it originate with men that singing glory to me makes me happy? We know that David did that. David had a consecrated heart, and he was my friend. Um, so it's important to take the time to understand what I think about, understand what I'm concerned about, and understand me. And it's could be a real focus of yours to uh, investigate my mind and talk to me and have discussions with me and talk to me about the world. Matthew's got a series of books called Conversations with God, book 1 to 4, books 1 to 3 together in one book. They're separate books also. You can buy book 1, book 2, and book 3, but you can buy books 1 to 3 together. In that book, you get an idea of my heart and what I think. And if you're up to book 3 in this series and you're reading this book, you would have heard many things from my heart, but um, there's nothing better. There'll be nothing better and more useful for you than to learn how to hear my voice and ask me questions and have a dialogue with me. Some people are really private, or many people are really private, and they don't talk about certain subjects out loud. Matthew very rarely talks about his son because his son is an issue for him, and there's hurt there. so he doesn't talk about his former wife and his son. There's certain subjects that people hold dear to themselves, that hold closer to their heart, and that they're not so expressive about it. So there's certain parts of me, there's certain things of my friendship that you'll only find out when you draw really close, and that's why the majority of people, uh, most people, Christians in the world, don't know that I suffer, don't know that I'm sad, don't particularly know that I'm angry that there's full-term abortions happening in the world. They have no reference, they have no understanding. And not only do they have no understanding, they have no desire to know. That's what's the most upsetting thing about the Christian church is the Christians have no desire to know how I feel. They have no desire to feel my feelings. They have no desire to know what I'm going through. And that's upsetting because I know how they feel. I can read their minds. I know what's on their hearts. And and sadly, it sadly is true that a very high percentage of the church are selfish, and they're just running after their own needs and their own desires, and they only really pray to us, not to talk to us and not to converse with us and uh, ask us about our day and how we're feeling, but they normally only talk to us because of religion, and that's what they're told to do, and they're normally spending time asking us for things with their selfish pursuits and their selfish lives. And you may notice a bit of attitude with me. I may be coming across that I've got a bad attitude towards many Christians, and you would have perceived that right. It frustrates me, and you could say it makes me angry that the people in the world serve idols like money and possessions more than they serve me. They do you know how frustrating it is to be asked that I'd intervene in a job interview where the person's going to get a pay rise, but I
Mm,
fully well know that they're going to get a better car and better clothes and better possessions with the extra money, when I'm fully aware that the extra money is going to go towards them lusting after more things. And it says in James uh, uh, 4 um, about these things. And I'll have Matthew read. I'll have Matthew read that. You lust and you do not have. You murder and covet and cannot obtain. You fight and war, yet you do not have because you do not ask. You
mm,
ask and do not receive because you ask amiss, that you may spend it on your pleasures. Adulterers and adulteresses, do you not know that friendship with the world is enmity with God? Whoever therefore wants to be a friend of the world makes himself an enemy of God.
mm,
Do, do you honestly realize that as a person who follows me, as a person who has given their life to me, do you realize that if you pursue the world and everything the world has to offer, and you become a friend of the world, that you become my enemy? Uh,
mm.
can you understand the frustration in my voice and the anger in my voice that so many of you waste space in church and waste money in church buildings and waste finances of pastors and waste finances of electricity bills. You're sitting there wasting away, wasting all the resources because you're selfish and you're only after things of your own. And it says very clearly there, uh, it says very clearly, you ask and do not receive because you ask amiss that you may spend it on your pleasures. So many of you want extra things from me and come to me for pay rises and better cars and better positions and so many things that you spend your money on your pleasures, and that's just not right. So I I want true friends. I want people who care about the things that I care about. I would really desire people that would have honest and true conversations with me. You know, if you were close to Donald Trump and you were able to speak with him face to face and be a friend of his that he went out to lunch with often, you may bring up the fact that people would think better of you, Donald, if you didn't share some of the radical things you do on Twitter. Like you want to hold back on Twitter and be more responsible and not be writing tweets at 3 a.m. in the morning when you should be in bed. You need to hold back. And you would hear Donald's response to that and saying, I'll express myself however I choose to express myself. And if people have got a problem with it, well, they've got a problem with me. But uh, if you are close to me, you'd be able to talk about issues and talk about how you can help me and how you can make the issues better and how you can make people suffer less and what input that you can have and how you can actually pray to relieve things. And you could choose to be a better intercessor. You could choose to take action and live your life in a different way that would relieve some of my pressures, that would relieve some of the things I'm concerned about. Uh, but so many of you don't come to me. So many of you stand off at a far distance. So many of you uh, uh, watch a fire, like you're people standing outside a house fire, not going into the house fire to rescue people, but standing saying, you know, that's a shame that house is burning. And the world is burning, folks, and the world is aflame. And so many of you just watching it happen, and so many of you are just ignoring that it's happening because it's out of sight, out of mind. Young children that are trafficked aren't children that you know. You don't know these children, so you don't think about them. And women that are trafficked are found in brothels and found in establishments that men go to, but you don't go to them, so you don't know them, you've never met them, and you don't really care about them. There's so many hardships that are happening to people that you simply don't care about because it's out of sight, out of mind. But there's so many of you who have the gift of intercession. So many of you that could pray that if you're aware of my concerns, if you're aware of the things I was concerned about, you could actually pray for those things and have a spiritual power being released for those things. Um, I, I, you'd really think from who I am in creation, that I'm the head of creation and the head creator, and uh, God the Father and the top of the Trinity. You'd think that I'd have friends. You'd think that the whole world would want to know me, and the whole world would want to be close to me. You wouldn't perceive that there's not many people that are close to me, even in heaven. That heaven is full of people enjoying themselves and living their perfect life. But there's not many people in heaven that draw close to me, that they don't want to come close to the fire, and it there's certain chastisement of me. There's certain refining that needs to go on for you to draw close to me, and so many people on earth and in heaven don't want to know my feelings. They don't want to know that I'm upset. They don't want to know uh, my sadness. They don't want to know any part of my anger and my depression and the difficult parts of what I go through, and that's really sad to me. It really makes me upset. It makes me angry, and I'm uh, I'm just alone. I just sometimes I just wish I had someone to talk to, and uh, I guess it comes with being in leadership. So many rich people don't have many friends. So many powerful people don't have friends. They have advisors, but not people close to them on a face-to-face basis that are on their same level. And I find you may find it strange that I don't have a lot of friends, and I want them. And so in answer to your question, the greatest desire that I have is, and the most meaningful thing that you can do is become a friend of mine, and you can learn how to hear my voice through reading Matthew's book, How to Hear God's Voice, and he's you probably may recognize that that book's been quoted a lot in this series, and it's only quoted as a resource and a tool for you. But the spirit of Matthew's spirit, is actually sick and tired of quoting that book. Uh, you know, he's sick of quoting it because there's so few people actually downloading that book and getting that book, and it's really terrible that people can hear a message and not really respond to the message. Um, so, what have you got to say, Tulu?
Thank you, Father. When I asked this question, I did tell Matthew that probably God must have answered this question already in the past from other questions, because there's been a lot of emphasis around being friends with you. And you said something, and that was what I was enumerating over in my mind as well, that how can the creator of the world need a friend? It's very, very shocking to me that, Father, you don't have friends and that you need a friend, because we never thought we were created to be your friend. I thought, don't let me speak for other people, I thought I was created to probably answer to you, serve you, but not necessarily to be your friend. But over the past few months, I've known that you need a friend, that you are lonely. But this is something that probably might surprise some other Christians as well that are out there, because emphasis is not laid on being your friend, even though we do usually sing a song, What a Friend We Have in Jesus. I guess people just sing that song. We don't necessarily know the meaning of what we are singing, that what it is to be a friend to Jesus. And you emphasizing it that you need a friend, and that is what you expect of us as your children. But we don't get it. We don't understand it. And maybe it might be stemming from lack of understanding, that people don't know that they are created to be your friend, or because of religion. What religion has showed us is just for you to give us order, and for we to follow that order. And that's how most people have lived their life, and never have thought that being your friend will be something that you desire. But now that I know that that's what you desire, I'm trying my possible best on how to be your friend, and on how to be someone that you can come to and express your thoughts to. And it was so interesting, Father, that all the years that Ben was here, that we were married, or since I knew him, I never knew that that was his calling, that his calling was just to be your friend. And he struggled with that as well, because you did say that when you decide to be my friend, there may be things that will happen in your life. Your life might become dark. I would say those are the things that he experienced, that a lot of challenges, everything he tried never works, which maybe is as a result of being your friend, but he never knew that that is the reason why he's experiencing all of those things. He was still trying up until he gave up his breath. He was still always saying, God, I just need to do something with my life. But how would I have known, or how would Ben have known, that you value our friendship, and that is what you require of some of your children, just to be your friend? But the way the society is set, everyone just wants to be successful. They want to lay hold on something that they've done. And without that external success, you feel that you're not enough. You feel that you've not done enough for God. And this has changed a lot of my perspective about what I value in life. Before, probably I value to be someone successful, to be someone that's got businesses and all of those things. But since the moment Ben came home, all of those desires just went off my mind, because I was able to reprioritize and know that what matters most is to be your friend. And Father, I know that as much as you desire us to be your friends, sometimes people find it difficult to know what are the ways, how can they approach being your friend. I've been able to start understanding how I can be your friend through all of this series of messages and conversation that we've been having. But the most surprising thing is, even though you're sending this, Matthew put this video on his Facebook to say, oh, this is my latest video about God conversation. You rarely see anyone comment on those videos, even though these are resources that people can digest and go into. The cheapest we could sell a book is 99 cents on Amazon. The resources are there at 99 cents. Some of them are even free if you're an Amazon customer. All the books have co-written with Matthew, I ensure that they are all free. If you're an Amazon member and you've got the unlimited access to books, then they should be able to access even without paying for it. But still, people do not desire knowledge that is going to make them understand you better. So there's so many difficulties that just hinders you being able to have that friend. And I'm still surprised that I never knew your emotions can be heard. You know, these are the things I never knew, that I could understand what you're thinking, or what are your concerns, or how I can help you to achieve all of those. I just assume that because you're the creator of the world, you've got everything sorted. And that's why over the years, when I come to you, I only come to you for my needs, because I felt you were responsible to fix my needs. Maybe a sense of entitlement, and these are all the things I'm learning now, that what you call me for ultimately is to be your friend, and every other thing becomes secondary. My work that I do every day, it's necessary, yes, because I need finances, but at the same time, it's not my core priority. It's become secondary to my core purpose, because now I know that my core purpose is here to serve you, to be your friend. And you did say something that until somebody becomes your friend, there's some areas of your life that you cannot share with that person until they are your friend. And I think that those are the challenges I have faced personally, Father. That's why I do not have friends, because I find that it's so difficult to find loyal friends. And I never knew that you were struggling as well as a creator, finding loyal friends, find people that you can open your heart to. Like throughout all the years that Ben was here, anyone that might come across me that might call themselves friend, I never opened up around my husband's challenges of trying to make it in life. No, I would never tell you, no matter, because those are the things that I feel that if I share with somebody, they might look at my husband in a different way. So those are the things that I've kept sacred. But until Ben came home and I knew that these are the things that I can share on this platform, I wouldn't have discussed those things. But I guess everyone is different. Everyone is built on transparency and you see your life. But these are the kind of things that you can only share with someone that is close to you. So, Father, knowing that you are alone, which is still surprising to me, and I hope it's getting better now, Father, since we've started this conversation. I hope that more people are coming to you wanting to be your friend, but because that is what we would like to happen from all of this platform. So, Father, I've got some questions for you. And the first question is, why do we shy away from being your friend?
Uh, the same reason that people shy away from fire. People have like an innate sense that it's going to be painful. Um,
Mm,
uh, so many people may see a relationship approaching, and there may be love and commitment and intimacy, and so many people have been hurt, and as soon as they see the relationship getting serious, they run away. So that's another aspect of
oh,
some
wow.
people aren't used to being loved, and they shy away. Some people see me as fire and shy away. There's multiple reasons why people shy away, and
Mm,
some of them just simply need to hear me speak my heart and get to know me and know that I'm humble and I'm happy and I'm loving and I'm kind and I'm compassionate. Of course, I expressed in this question that I was angry and frustrated, and they're typical emotions for a person to go through, and perhaps people can relate to that. But uh, people should be aware that I would take them through a process. I wouldn't dump on them all the things I'm worried about straight away. I'd build a relationship with a person, just like you'd have a relationship with a normal friend. You'd talk about surface things and general things to start with until the relationship got deeper and you're speaking about deeper things. The same would be true for me and true with me, but people just don't take it for a run. They just don't practice. They don't even try.
Thank you, Father. I would say my own reason, because you did say there are various reasons, and I agree to that. People will have various reasons of why they've not been your friend. I guess why I've not been your friend is because I never knew I could be your friend. That was something that I wasn't aware of. Even though it was written in the Bible that you're a friend of Moses, you're a friend of Abraham, it never occurred to me that actually I could be your friend. So now that I know that I can be your friend, I've been trying to navigate that part of how to be your friend, because I know it's a process I need to go through. And some of the processes are challenging, whereas some of them might seem straightforward. So, but it's what I desire now, and it's what I'm working towards. My next question is, you did say that people's life, part of what they experience is their life goes darker. Why does that happen when someone decides to be your friend? Why did they have to experience all of the other things that comes with it, like depression, challenges of life? Why is that so?
Well, if many people who are suicidal don't share their depressive thoughts. They don't share what they've been going through, what they're feeling, their depression with people. They just cope with those sad feelings themselves. But if they were to share the sad feelings that they had with people, it would get people sad and get people depressed. And so many people suicide because they want to relieve their friends of feeling bad. They don't want people to continue feeling bad for themselves. So they save their friends by taking their own life. The
Mm.
same is true for me. Is if you allowed yourself to open up to me, if you allowed yourself to hear my real thoughts and understand what I really thought and what I really experienced, it could get depressing for you. It's especially depressing to see all the trouble and trials in the world and struggles in the world without solution, without anyone solving it. All the young females getting sexually abused each night and having no one rescue them, all the women being trafficked and all the children being trafficked and all the people dying of overdoses. Um, it's sad to hear all those things and understand all the suffering in the world without any solutions, and can get dark and depressing for a person if they've got that type of personality.
Thank you, Father. And I wanted to ask you that what do you value most in friendship? If I needed to be your friend or someone that might be listening to this, whether on earth or in heaven, what do you desire most? What do you value most in friendship?
It's the three things I value: intimacy, honesty, and intimacy, transparency, and obedience. They're the three things that were covered before
Mhm.
that'll take you closer through the realms in heaven. Is uh, you be intimate, talk about anything, you be transparent, be able to share anything about your own life and share anything with me, and be obedient to the things I tell you to share. Um, and yeah. So there are three things, and um, when you're intimate with me, you can hear things that I have to say and process them and think about them and share thoughts on your Facebook or share thoughts on video. When you're obedient, you can hear me share things that I want you to do, and you'll do those things. Um, yeah, so those three are a combination of the three things that make me happy.
Thank you, Father. I think that's something that I've been learning, to be transparent and to be more vulnerable in sharing my thoughts as well with yourself, Father, because I never knew that I can share my thoughts with you in that way. It's like I only reveal an aspect of my life, and then the other aspect, I don't feel like talking about them. Is you just box them up aside. But knowing that I can come to you and discuss every aspect of my life, that has changed things, and I'm learning to be better in that. So I wanted to ask you further, how can we maintain and strengthen the friendship? We'll still be able to do that through those three key things, or is there any other thing for us to do? Because it's another thing to start, it's another thing for you to continue to maintain and strengthen that friendship. Because I guess, Father, maybe you've had a lot of people that have come to you at the beginning, but when it gets tough, they bow out. So how can people learn to continue even to persist, even when it seems challenging?
People people need to just to pace themselves, and some people would start a friendship and continue and power on and hear things from me, and then they may hear things that concern them or worry them. They need to take it to prayer and take things slowly and trust us. But there's so many people in life that start things and quit. There's only a small percentage of people that carry things through and persist. And we know the people that are going to quit. We know a certain percentage of people that aren't going to carry through. And you're talking about a relationship with us, talking about something really important. And if they want to quit, they quit.
Mm.
You can continue your relationship, drawing close to us in intimacy. You can be really transparent with us and allow us to be transparent with you. And you can continue and strengthen your relationship through obedience and things that we tell you to do. Besides that, there's nothing else we can really do to help you if you're going to just approach a certain way and then quit. There's nothing we can really do to stop you quitting. Some people approach a certain way, get to a certain level of friendship, and then stay there, and they can minister to other people from that position and be useful to the kingdom. It's just not a lot of people come all the way in, and so we've got a use for people that come halfway, and they can minister to others and share their life with other people and be effective. It's not many people come all the way in, and that's what we're looking for.
Thank you, Father. You said something which was so powerful, that the world is burning and so many of you are ignoring it because it doesn't concern you, because it doesn't relate to you. So for me, what I'm taking away from this conversation today is just like what Jesus said in some few days ago, that living for other people should be the priority of everyone. I think when we come into this world, a lot of time we get carried away with desires, needs, and wants, and you start catering just only for your needs. And the more God blesses you, the more you enlarge your way of living as against living for other people. And these are the things that I felt has been echoed over and over again through all of these conversations. Jesus Christ is living for other people. Father, you're living for us. So the desires of every of your children should be finding ways that we can be useful for you, but at the same time being your friend. So thank you, Father, once again. I'm blessed.
What are some practical ways that you believe someone could be my friend?
Practical ways. Well, being your friend, not, I just want to understand the question very well. What are the practical ways? I guess the practical way, Father, is first of all coming out of religion, because the mindset needs to change. If someone has still got the old mindset of, I come to the Father because he's my creator, he's my Lord, and he just gives me order, and then I honor those orders, and if I don't do it right, he judges me, which that's the mindset I've carried for a long time, of I just have to continue to work, show myself that I can do this, that without my works, probably God will not even love me. This is the mindset that a lot of Christians or a lot of people out there are carrying on a daily basis. So that mindset, first of all, needs to change. They need to be able to know that they can be your friend. And when you make friend, you want loyal friends. Once the mindset has shifted, then the person can start looking into practical knowledge that could help them, consuming knowledge like Matthew's book, like the parable of Jesus. There are practical ways of how you can demonstrate God's love. And as you're demonstrating God's love, people will be able to see you through us. So that's another way of understanding those, because if you don't have deep understanding of the right theology, you find it difficult to know what it is to be your friend. And then coming back to those three things that you mentioned, which is intimacy, which is having the two-way conversation. It takes a lot of practice, I must say, Father. Two-way conversations, sometimes I enjoy, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I can't hear anything today. What is blocking me? So it's, but you said it's a practice. You just have to continue to practice and practice. Like, for instance, yesterday I was watching a documentary with my children. The documentary is titled Sprint. It's just for people that run and how they've been successful, the hard work they've put behind the scene. And a lot of them have gone for competitions and they've won the competition. And I was telling my children yesterday, for you to be the best, you just have to be out there practicing, practicing, practicing. You have to be the best version of yourself. And the world is based on competition. And surprisingly, you might not know, I've heard that everyone is based on competition as well. And they were laughing. And something happened as I was listening. There's a lady that never thought she could win because this is the first time she's going to participate in that sort of competition. And then she won. And as she was crying, I was just moved to tears as well. And in that moment, I heard you speak to me. From what happened while I'm watching, I could hear you, Father, speaking to me. And I was like, oh, I heard this for the first time. God is speaking to me from what I'm watching. And I was able to remember when you said, you could bring me along when you're watching TV. And you really touched what you said, really touched me, because it was like what I was watching. You're like, Tolu, that is you. You're winning, even though you never thought you could win, but you're winning. And I was just crying, like, because it really touched me about how will I know that just watching a documentary that God can use the scene of what I'm watching to speak to me. But that's me being sensitive, being tuned in, having to know that you said something. Sometimes a learner would say something, the next day I would just hear Ben say, I was the one speaking through her. So it's continuous practice of speak two-way conversation. You're not going to get it in one go. That is what I've learned now, that I have to just continue to practice the same thing until I get to a state that I feel comfortable. And you will never feel comfortable based on what you've said that Matthew has been practicing for a long time. Sometimes you still feel maybe you are not the one, or sometimes he might struggle to hear. And transparency is something that I've struggled with over the years as well. I used to say I'm a very private person, but I'm getting to open up now. And transparency is quite key to having a relationship with you, which I wouldn't have thought. So people that need to be close to you, they must be ready to come to you and just open their life to you and be able to have conversation and just be sincere and allow you in every aspect of their life so that you can get to trust them as well and allow them in. And obedience as well. You need to be obedient to your words. And I guess obedience is not like a blanket thing. Obedience means something different to everyone. Maybe wherever you've told them to do in those personal two-way conversations, just studying your word, following your words, looking at the parables, the commandment, what did Jesus say, and just following those instructions. So that is what I would advise people. It needs to be something that you're practicing every day. You need to give room for God. Like for me, every day now, my life is centered around God. I want to first of all ensure like we take the God's conversation out. Like this morning, I woke up very early in the morning, but Matthew was tired. I wanted us to have the conversation before I start having meetings because I knew my day can just easily get busy. But I want to take this out because I feel it's so important. So giving you time, Father, just to be able to serve you, to be able to hear from you, and just setting yourself free. You just need to be able to believe that God can be that simple. It can be that easy to serve God, because sometimes over the years, what I've struggled with all what the saints have been saying is it's far too easy for me to believe that this is just what I need to do to be a friend of God. And you did say something as well, that sometimes when you shower the love, people find it difficult. I think at the beginning, I find the love very difficult to accept because I'm like, not so many people have loved me. Why are all these saints so loving and saying so many nice things about me? I find it difficult to accept. But until you said, Tolo, stop giving me, I've got enough glory. Stop giving me back the glory. I want you to accept it. So it's a journey, Father, and each person just has to continue to take that daily step, not giving up. You cannot give up. You cannot absolutely give up because there will be situations in your life that will want to make you give up. Because sometimes, Father, like for instance, over the weekend where I had issues with my car, I'm like, why is it always something, another thing? I don't even know what is coming again. You have that fear in you that what is the enemy planning again? But it's part of the journey. You just have to learn to trust God, knowing that God will continually keep you. And if your life is worth living, it's just worth living by just living for God. That has just to be the center of your life so that your life is not wasted. I don't want to waste my life now that I know the value of what it is to serve you. So, Father, I hope I've covered everything I need to cover. If I miss anything, you can add it. Well, I guess that's what people just need to be doing. They just need to start simple, simplify it. Don't make it sound difficult. 5 minutes of two-way conversation will do. You don't want much, isn't it, Father? You don't want an hour. 5 minutes is okay.
Yeah, 5 minutes is enough. 5 or 10 minutes, and it's got to be interesting. It's got to you got to be interested and engaged. It's no use even talking to us for 5 minutes if you're not interested, if you're not happy to do it. So we've got plenty to say, and as you're aware, I can speak for an hour at a time, or I can speak for 5 minutes. I'm interested in dialoguing with you each day, and you can speak to me for 5 minutes. You can speak to Ben, your husband, for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. You can speak to Jesus for 5 minutes, and you can just have like two-way conversations with multiple people, and that's really good. Um, so, are you really growing in your relationship with us through your two-way conversations with us and saints?
Oh, I'm really growing because I'm not religious anymore. Well, there will still be an hint of religion in me, but I'm just learning to take it a step at a time. But I believe I am growing. Sometimes I want that tangible thing because I'm very impatient person. When I want to learn something, I want to learn it quickly. So this has been a test of my patience, working with you, Father. And I guess for people that might be like myself, that always want things to work out quicker for them, they might be surprised that it will take a while, but you just need to continue to persist.
Yeah. Okay. So if you listen to this point on, uh, please press like. If you heard something that you want to comment on, I encourage you to comment on. This video is found on a playlist called uh, God's Last Days Message to His Children. And if this is the first video you've seen on my channel, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. God bless.